Okay, so that was a bit of a rough start there. Sorry about that. Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Hopefully we won't have to do that again. But yeah, today we're gonna go ahead and do a couple of games. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time period that you are viewing from. We're gonna be doing 2 games today. Kill Night. We've done Kill Night before, and so we're kind of going to return to that. And then after that, there's this new game that I saw on Steam that looked pretty good. It's in early access right now, but it's called a Rogue Genesia or Genesia. I'm not sure how we would go about pronouncing that, to be honest, but that is I'm calling it as I'm seeing it, if that makes sense. So sorry about that. Just kind of reaching up to get my controller, which I always use a PS5 pad. I used to be a big Xbox guy, and I don't know, I just like the tactile feel of the PS5 controller, so that's what we're going with. I believe Kill Knight's already set up for that. I haven't played the game in a while. Pretty sure the last time was probably a couple weeks ago, so I don't know what I am doing. I'm gonna need a refresher on how everything works, so I'll probably look into that, and probably gonna be dying a lot today, but that is quite okay. I am more than happy to do that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get that all taken care of. Let me just switch over. And let me just make sure the right one is going. Oh, it is not. So switch that over. Stop that for a bit. Okay, great. Position's still a little off, so let me go ahead and change that here real quick. There we go. That's good. How's it going? Hope you're having a good day. Always nice to see you in the chat. Always very happy to see you. Hope you're having a good one. Oops. Okay. I think my settings are fine. Okay, do you remember? I guess we'll just go through the tutorials again and hope for the best. Okay, it's left bumper to dash. Got it. Okay. Oh, that's the charge. So tired, but besides that, it's good. I'm so sorry you're feeling tired today. I'm kind of feeling the same way. I mean, I'm pretty knocked out myself, so I don't know. I was actually trying to do some overtime today, but when I tried to log into the system at work, well, I work from home, so today when I was trying to log in, it just said I don't have a shift today, so I was like, all right, well, that's fine. I always end up trying to sign up for overtime on days that I'm off, just to do a little bit of extra money, because you know, times are tough. Okay, so we've got that. Press X to attack. When sword charge is full, press Y to release sword surge. I know when you do that. Okay, so sword surge. Ah, cool. Neat. Okay, heavy weapons. Press LT to fire heavy weapon. Kill enemies with sword to gain. Okay. All right. Okay, oops, I'm gonna do that. So when that bar comes up and I press that, I get heavy ammo back. But only if I kill an enemy. Alright. Got it. So you actually want to have wow, that was a miss. As many enemies around as you can to replenish that, because then if you just hit one, it's kind of not really worth it. Kind of like that. Okay. Score and kill stream. Oh, right. This is just the whole, like, don't let your kill streak go down or get interrupted or that type of thing. Which is actually pretty hard to maintain. Well, not against normal enemies, but against other things like obstacles and whatnot. That's pretty difficult. Kill power. Okay. Oh wait, I can do, yeah, I was gonna say I can do the thing that'll let me absorb. Oops, didn't let me do that time. That was weird. Alright. Hey, hero. Welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing good. Sorry you're feeling tired too. I'm going to be sort of lurking while I work and listening to you. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Hopefully your work goes pretty good. And again, it's great seeing you, hero. Glad you could stop on by. Where was I at? Oh, Wrath Bursts, right. Charge up Wrath energy to max. Kill enemy with Wrath Burst. I believe it's different with each weapon, so this should be interesting and fun, I suppose. Okay, so then we would do that? Yeah. And then that actually gets us health, which is good. Gonna need to remember that. Nice. I'm doing okay. Well, that's good. That's good. You know, doing okay is better than not okay. Because I know a lot of us are, you know, we say we're doing okay, and we're actually not. I know I'm kind of in that boat, but doing okay is good. Doing okay is good. I'll count that as a win. Blood gems. Got it. Okay. Yeah, we want to hit that dude with the super attack. There we go. Because then there will be a nice little explosion, and we'll get some really cool extra AoE damage. Oh. There we go. Very nice. Oh, right. Which we have been using. Absorbing sword triggers. It's 1, 2. Aw, really? Ooh, late. That's not good. There we go. Got it. Okay. Ooh. You know, that's good to remember, but I don't remember ever doing that in the first level. Maybe it's not something that we do in that one. I don't know. I don't know. All I remember is like this level actually being pretty like it can get pretty brutal. But I'm happy all the more for oh, I already fucked that up. But yeah, keeping like a streak on this one is actually can be pretty hard, so I don't know. We'll see how things how things go and if it escalates to a certain point, but I'm really just kind of going through this again just sort of as like a refresher because I did unlock the second level, but just a little too late. Oh. Ah. Damn it. There we go. Just get rid of some of that garbage. Okay. Need to build up some more. I know your buddies are going to show up soon. So... Okay. There we go. Nice. Good, good. Didn't fully kill you, though. Okay, I know this section is where things get kind of weird. I lost my streak, too. Well, that's fine. Like I said, this is just a refresher. I'm not trying to perfect this or anything. Okay. Probably should have waited on that, because I do know that there are some carapace guys that are going to be coming up right there. And can get pretty upsetting if we don't do this quick. There we go. These guys are no joke. Okay. Okay, right. My guy has one dash, but I think his dash actually does damage. I think I have spikes when I dash. So I actually end up doing damage when I hit things. Damn it, countered at the wrong time. There we go. Very nice. Ooh. Did I get everyone? Okay, good. Nice. I didn't know there was an achievement for that, but I'll take it. Oh yeah, I'm moving around much faster now. Okay. Ooh. It's gonna start going the other way. I remember. Ah, too early. Damn it. Oh, I lost my 5 because I got hit. Ooh, this. Oh, nope. Mistimed it. Keep mistiming these. God damn it. Because I have to get them while they're still glowing. And I died. Damn it. Okay. Alright. You know what? Not too bad. I'm gonna say that's okay. I'm gonna say that's okay. Not super, well, I was gonna say I'm not super far off from my previous score, but well, Cat, you want to go out? Okay, come on. No. Yes. Yes. I swear to God. Freaking cats, man. It's like, I want to go out, and then they don't. And then they're like, wait, I changed my mind. All the time. Let's try a new level. This is one that I unlocked the other day, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what this one is all about. Hoping for good things. Entanglement. Okay. Holy shit. Well, this is already not nice. Okay, so they can be killed. I was wondering about that. Seemed very sort of trap-like. Ooh. Okay. I did lose my streak. Damn. Ooh. It's getting a little bit uncomfortable over there. There we go. I love that move. So good. Don't like that though. That's not awesome. Damn. I didn't realize I was that low on health. my streak there. Yep. Yep. Not too surprised about that. Though you hate to see it. Okay. This one's actually pretty hard. Oh man. Ooh, that's not nice. I don't like that. Oh god. Oh my god. Holy shit. Okay. Okay, no, it just got me more currency to spend. Okay, not bad. Oop, that was though. Ow. Oh my god. Okay. Screw it, I need the help now. Can't wait. I hate those things. Ooh. Okay. Damn, I am low on health, buddy. That bought me a little bit of time. It's not a whole lot, but damn, just ran out of time. It's you. Oh, didn't see that guy. Damn. Retry. Nice. Not nice. Streak's gonna run out. Yep. That was a nice haul. Okay. I hate those guys. Ooh, okay. Okay, good. Just doing a little bit better. Lost my streak though, but that's okay. We're surviving with a decent amount of health. So that's always something. Okay. Damn it. Fucking explodey boys, I swear to God. Oh God. Okay, that's 1, 2. Making progress. I'll take it. I'll take it. Nice. What the fuck is that? It's like a super destructive disc. What the fuck? Oh my god, there's another one. And it shoots bullets. That is not okay. Not sure when the appropriate time for that one would have been, but oh my god. Holy shit. There's like a super moth. Jesus. Okay. Let's go again. Had like the forked like tri-beam of doom. Jesus. That is insane. Okay. Nice. Not nice, because explodey boys. Okay. Wrong button. I didn't even press one at all that time. Not sure why. Really don't like those things. Ooh. Well, this isn't going that well. Let's just do that. Okay, got 1, 2. I'm like not even paying attention to my streak, to be honest. I'm just trying to live. Oh, it's you. Oh my god. All the time. All the time. Okay. Oops, wrong button. There we go. So it was a very cool wrong button to press. It's the wrong button nonetheless. Oh, that was a lot of stuff. Good lord. Oops. Damn. Ah, there goes the streak. A little too late. Okay. Whew. Oh man, that was a lot. Damn it. Okay. Damn it. Got her too late. Too late. Come on, man. I keep countering when the fucking... when they're lit up. That is insanity. It's like my button pressers are registering like just a couple, not even a second off. Like just hit at the right time. That's all I'm asking. Well, that kind of worked and it kind of didn't. There. That worked somehow, even though I felt I timed that one late. Like those. Very not cool. Okay. Too many enemies. I hate it. Ah. Damn. I feel like I'm doing worse with each subsequent one. Oh, what? It didn't even hit the freaking guy. What the hell? Okay. Got it first try that time. Okay. Not sure why it took so long to fire off that one, but alright. Whew, man. Okay, got you. Got you. What? What the hell? Do I have no health? Okay. That's pretty weird, but alright, alright. Weird. Okay. That was a weird delay on that attack. Alright, good. Better than usual. Wasn't quite the chain reaction that I wanted, but okay. Oh man. What the? Yeah, it is pretty rough, but I don't know. I mean, I enjoy it a lot. Like, the challenge is really fun. There's just like a lot of stuff that just kind of, like, it feels like it's out of your control, but it's not. Like, everything that you do is kind of more or less like something that you can relatively control. So you tend to get yourself into a lot of tough spots just because you're not paying attention to the bigger picture. Like that. It like really doesn't like certain multi-button presses. Yeah, like that. I got hit while I was countering, so the enemy hit offset my counter, and I died instead of getting the counter in when I should have. I don't know, it's all trial and error. I mean, I think something like this is extremely fun, and I would highly recommend to anyone that kind of wants like a really good sort of like challenge on their hands, because it's not overly complex. It's actually quite simple. It's just getting all of the execution for everything kind of down. Not necessarily like memorizing patterns, but like kind of, sort of. Streak lost. There we go. Good counter. That was decent for that, but probably could have done better with the wrathful attacks. Wow, really? Yeah. Ah! Oh, not bad. Already an hour. Probably do a bunch more runs, then switch over to the other game. Probably take a quick break in between. There we go. Good, good, good. close. What the hell? Alright. Oh, hey, Dante's Skies. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day. Oh, God. This game is kicking my ass. Holy shit. Oh, man. Never been happier to have my ass kicked, let me tell you. There we go. Oh, kind of late. Kind of late. That's my bad. Okay. Oof. Okay. It's having a little bit of trouble there. I'm not sure if you saw that. Oof. Ooh. Yeah, the struggle is real on this one. Jesus. Alright. Ah. Of course. I go to fire off one and I'm right next to an enemy when I freaking die. Okay, let's stay out of the range of explodey thing. Didn't get the guy up there, but it's fine. Well, okay. That was a little weird zigzaggy movement there. Okay. Okay, good. Not good. Better. Hate those guys. Let's stay away. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Let's at least attempt to get some health back, at least. Okay. Okay, I need to pause real quick. Cat, you cannot be on the desk. Over there you go. In fact, there you go. I know you're just being you and you can't help it, but can't be doing that when I'm streaming. At least we get to start the section off with full health. Count of 1, too late. Nope. Got you there. For whatever reason, that shot off way too late. Still managed to make something of it, so at the very least that's good. Again, I'm not sure why that one was firing off so late. Okay. I think that's the first time I actually made it past that thing. Oh god. And there's another one. And a whole bunch of bullet hell. Fuck. Well, it's better than last time. I will take that. Nice one. When it works like I want it to, it's always good, but then just does weird wonky stuff where it just kind of does what it wants. It's not a good time for anyone. Okay. Oh, come on, man. I fucking dodged left and I decided to dodge up. What are you doing? Crazy. Alright. Let's get some of that health back. Get rid of you. I already lost my streak on this one. Okay. Wow. It's a crazy amount of damage. Holy shit. Okay. Damn, that really didn't get as much as I thought it would. Okay. Somehow avoided imminent death there. Okay. All right. Again, that didn't really get as much as I thought it would. Okay, there's going to be another one here soon. There it is. Ah! Man, this one's really rough. Holy shit. So much you have to be aware of. It's fine. I'll get my health back. Okay. Ooh, boy. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Bad dodge. Okay. Gonna really need some health soon. Very, very, very precarious spot. Could have gone a little better, but that is fine. Oh, shit. God damn it. Ran out of dodges wrong time. Man, that is rough. Alright, we'll do a couple more runs and then we'll switch over to Genesia. one that I've never tried before, and it seems interesting because it's a roguelike. We'll see how it goes. It kind of looked like a what do I want to say as far as like the layout? I'm just like kind of blanking because I'm trying to concentrate. I can't even remember the name of the game that I'm trying to think of right now. It's a combination of Vampire Survivors and I don't know. I'll try to come up with. I'll try to see if I can remember what the name was, but I have no idea. The name just eludes me. Okay, good. Not Risk of Rain. I was gonna be like, it's that one that's like with the cards, and it's like there's actually a lot of fucking roguelikes that use cards now, so that is not helpful at all. I don't know, man. I have no idea. But I know it's one where you climb a tower. Slay the Spire, that's what it is. There we go. Slay the Spire. It's like that. Shit. Alright, there you go. That one. That's exactly it. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. Since about that time, I'm going to do this real quick, because it's a good time for a break, so I am going to use the restroom, and I will be right back. All right, we are kind of back. You ever, I know this is probably like TMI a little, but you ever like go to the restroom and like you're peeing, right? And you're there for longer than you thought. You know what I mean? Because you're just there and you're like, maybe not so bad. I don't know. And then you're just there and there and there. And oh wow, there's like two of me. That's weird. I do not know what causes that. I know sometimes that happens. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen into the future. It looks like it's weird properties that are taken on by the thing. But anyway, it's like you're there for like, you're peeing, right? And then you just keep going for like 10 to 20 seconds longer than you expect. And you're just like, what the fuck? Like, why? It didn't feel like it was that bad. But then you're just fucking just keeps going. It just keeps going, and I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, we're getting into Rogue Genesia, or Genesia. I don't know how you say it, how you pronounce it. Maybe it's even Genesia. I don't know. But I have never played this before. I know that it is very much, like I said, from the preview that I saw, it was very much Risk of Rain. Why does it say my resolution is 380/40? What the fuck? No, it's not. It must be counting both of my screens. That is definitely not true. Apply. Confirm. But yeah, Slay the Spire. That one I haven't played for a long time, but it was a lot of fun. The way that I saw it, there's like a map that's laid out kind of like that. You don't use cards, but the gameplay seems like it's like Vampire Survivors, so I don't know. I guess we'll find out soon enough. The sound. Hopefully it's not too loud. Got it. Chain. Oh, we don't have a different avatar. We have pets. Oh, requires DLC. I didn't even know that was a thing. All right, well let's do a new one. Dawn Forest. Why not? Yeah, so this is what I mean. Like, there's a layout, like, it's like Slay the Spire's map. Okay. Your soul is getting stronger. Select your soul card. Shoots a projectile in the aim direction. Shoots the closest enemy. Throw a bunch of shuriken. Target. You know what? Why not? Okay, it doesn't go super far. Have less than 3 FPS. That's an achievement. What the fuck? Damascus Steel power multiplier +3, Clover base gold gain, critical chance, drop chance, and I can up shuriken. Let's go with Clover. Okay. Base critical, move, critical. Got some goblins. Okay. Can you shoot the box? There we go. Oh, okay. So yeah, this is very, very Vampire Survivor-y. Stone skin. I don't know if we need to combine things together. Void, projectile duration. Let's up the range in which we can absorb stuff. So I'm glad that's represented by the circle. Damn, these things have a lot of HP. Okay. I would very much like you to hit the box, but apparently that's not a thing. Spiked shield. Sure. We've killed... Okay, so there's a certain amount that we need to kill. Seems cool. 50 multiplier plus 10 attack speed. Okay. Plus 40 move speed, minus 50% dash cooldown. Okay. Temp buffs. Temp buffs. Got it, got it, got it. Wow, that box have nothing? Shit. Okay, so Shuriken can be good. But it looks like we just need to survive, and then we get a thing at the end. I kind of like the graphics. It's like this weird 2D on like isometric, sort of. Celerity. Alright. Getting Frenzy. Reach 2.5. Okay, thanks. Okay. Got it. We're unlocking a lot of stuff, apparently. Carved dice. Alright. Seems like a lot. Treasure. Soul Gauntlet automatically attracts 50% of all leftover soul gems, food, and coin pickups at the end of each stage. Oh, yeah, that seems cool. Multi-handed, shuriken, accuracy, additional projectiles. Let's do additional projectiles, especially since it's heroic. Range, health, durability. Let's do health regen, even though we didn't get hit a ton last time. Okay. I'm assuming the gold is something that we're going to use at the end. Rune of Alacrity. Increase the equipped weapons attack speed by 25%. Speed up hit enemies timescale by 25%. Not sure what that means. Momentum, projectile size, base knockback, voids. Let's try the rune. Oh wow, that is a lot faster. Holy shit. Press. Okay. DPS 4.99, average damage 1.22. Should probably start upgrading that. Okay. So we ran out of our buffs. Things are getting a little crazy now. Okay. Damn, those things really do have like a ton of health. That's not very good. Oh, I didn't even see that thing there. What the fuck? Lens, spike shield, vine. Every 10 seconds you create a surface of 8 meters covered by vines for 3 to 2 seconds. All enemies that walk on the surface get rooted and cannot move. Only appears in Dawn Forest. Sure, why not? That must only apply to stuff on the ground, though, right? Because if it affects flying... Nope. Okay. It affects flying stuff. I did not expect that. Okay, I don't know what that does. Weapon modifier, no. Oh, is that what it is? I don't know. Yeah, let's get out of that precarious field there. More pickups always good. Wow. That's a 999. That's crazy. It says this one's tainted, though. What does that even mean? Wow, it doesn't even say. Okay, I don't know. Sure, why not? Gold question mark. Let's go with the question mark. Oh, more fighting. Okay. Man, I need to upgrade this shuriken. Like, really, really bad. Oh, it's a boss. It's a boss. I'm actually pretty afraid. Ice Spirit slows down enemies on hit. Accuracy, Arcane Beam. Charge and cast powerful beam in the aim direction. Cannot charge another beam while your beam is still active. Continuously targeting the same enemy with a beam increases the damage and the defense shredding effect applied. 1.15 damage, 3.72 seconds attack delay, 1 projectile, 1 second beam duration, 0.05 second charge time. I don't know what that does, but okay. Sure. I see. So I'm controlling the beam direction with the right analog stick. So when it charges up, it just Cyclops lasers them, like, into the ground. That's pretty cool. I like that. Piercing multiplier, probably pretty good for the laser, so we'll take that. The direction also changes with the left analog stick, so it looks like it's just tied to the sticks, but when I'm moving, the right will make that change. Ooh, there's a boss guy up there. Kind of want to try boss guy. There's a boss guy here. Damn, that really doesn't do a whole lot of damage right now. Attack speed. Okay, so it says to collect monster fangs. I don't know if they're dropped by monsters or if they're in, like, crates. I would assume they're in crates. So we're gonna wander around and look for crates. It seems like I'm just getting them. I don't know how. Maybe just a random chance. More shurikens, please. Oh god. Okay, well we didn't even kill that guy. Okay, more celerity. Damn. Okay, so yeah, monsters do drop them. Okay. Defense. Size up. Critical chance. Let's size up, I guess. Yeah, we want to try and go after Boss Man, so... Whoa. It's a big mushroom dude. Damn, that guy has a lot of health. Holy shit. Yeah, more shuriken, why not? This thing is going off now. Holy shit. I've barely done any damage to that guy. Okay, so we unlocked more stuff. Hermes Hood. Black Blood. Region at the cost of health. Let's go with Reach first. Took a lot of damage there. It's not great. Not great. Forged Iron. Okay, since this is the last upgrade for that, let's just get Celerity. That locks on the closest monster. Let's upgrade Arcane Beam. Let's make this bad boy a little stronger. Fairy in a bottle. Nice Zelda reference there. Health regen. Corruption. I'm curious. Evolutions. Corrupted something. Sure. Alright, let's go for scary boss guy. Oh, it's an elite. Okay. Ooh, this is gonna take a little bit. I love the music in this. It feels so like I want to say like late 90s, early 2000s JRPG. You have that like subtle rock track with like the bells and everything. I don't know. It's really cool. Really cool. It's like sort of Castlevania-like. Whoa, big slowdown. Shuriken. Wow. Size up. Arcane Beam. Oof, okay. They're done throwing just one at me. This is really cool. I like this. It's like very, I don't know. Oddly relaxing? Even though it's like chaotic? Like right now, I'm getting surrounded like crazy. Split. This is ridiculous. Shuriken. Alacrity. Yeah, the music is like really on point. I love it. Oh, okay. Well, I don't have dash yet, so let's up Clover, I guess. Do I have any area of effect stuff? I don't think so. Let's go with momentum. Oh god, there's another one of you. Beam. Okay. Death Aura. Deals continuous damage to enemies near you. Cannot deal critical damage. Starts off at 0.63 damage. Attack delays 0.19 seconds. 2 meter range. 1.13 defense piercing. Let's do it. Arcane Beam. Multi-handed. Oh, Holy Cross. Okay. We'll take that. It seems cool. Yeah, let's move faster. Treasure. Oh, these both lead to Elite Boys. Let's go with this one. Magnifying Crystal, 50% EXP gain multiplier. We take that. Got that. Accuracy. Let's up Death Aura. Ooh. Okay. I didn't even check the other one. Arcane Beam. Oh, we can see their HP now. That's so cool. Okay, I have to okay. I have to survive and not take any damage for about a minute and a half. Move speed. Well, it's optional, but ooh. Modify equip weapon. No. Death Aura. Okay. Funny Mushroom. Power 156.69. Multipliers 15%. Projectile speed minus or goes down to 70%. Or the multiplier goes down by 30. I don't like that. Let's go with Lens. Let's keep the beam on you while we're also keeping an eye on our surroundings. Okay. Death Aura. Okay, we're almost there. We've got about 10 more seconds. Ooh, okay, nice. Split, why not? Oh, we get an optional reward too. Nice. Attack speed goes down. Let's level Spike Shield. We've been neglecting that a little bit. Yeah, let's get a chest. Saint's Shinbone. Heal 15% of your health when you level up. Yep, okay. Death Aura. Question, regular. Let's go with the question. Compromise. Shuriken. Clover. God damn. It's like we have like a Kamehameha wave or something. That's crazy. It's just like tearing through this ring. That used to be so difficult to do. Now it's just like ripping through stuff. That's amazing. Alacrity. Now we're just kind of tearing through elites like they're nothing. Always happy about that. What the hell was that? Oh. Is that like a goblin knight or something? Like, what the fuck? It's all like proud with it, like his chest open or chest forward. Low pressure. Wow. You can get 99 of that. Let's up Clover. And then Ice Spirit, why not? Ooh, elite. Elite. Let's do it. Survive. Minute 33. Kill 3 elites. Okay. Ooh. We have a dash. Size up. Ooh. That was scary. Death Aura. Oh gosh. Spike shield. Ooh, we're getting surrounded. Let's create some space. Damn, these are beefy boys. Holy shit. Okay, good. Agility. Wow. This is actual insanity. Black blood. I do technically have an area effect, but momentum. Ooh, there's a triple skull up there. I'm curious. Oh, actually, I can't get it. Ah, oh well. Whatever. I just realized the way that the path was laid out made that impossible. I like that the laser is like seemingly coming out of my torso. You know? Like, I kind of get it. But, alright. Ooh. Rust. Base defense piercing. Okay. Yes, let's get some rust. If it fucks up the enemy more, that's what we need. Piercing defense is always good. Whatever the percentage is that you get. Oh, I didn't even see what the optional thing was. It's probably completing the level before the timer ran out. Yeah. Spike shield. Sharpening stone. Base power. Nah, we're gonna rust it up. Let's go. Yeah, let's do an elite. Could potentially get some items here. Ooh. Man, why is the camera pulled so far back? That's kind of weird. All right, well, we got through that. So there's that. God damn. We're like ripping through these guys. That's crazy. Okay. Black blood. Ooh, all right. Man, that's so much stuff. Yeah, let's get that. More piercing. Piercing's always good. Muscle. Sure, why not? Let's get some golds. Okay, so golds of the shop. Fire wine, increase your power by 25% for 120 seconds. Card selection. Neat. Okay. Okay. So let's buy that. Let's up spike shields. Black blood. Saint's pelvis. Okay, so this is an upgrade from that other Saint's bone thing. Heal 30% of your health at the end of each stage. Sure, why not? Card selection. Black blood. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so what do we have here? Forged iron, projectile duration. Let's get dash. Oh, cool. Charge altars to summon the boss. Okay. I like how I do nothing, the beam just kind of does what it wants, you know? Okay. I assume that's charged. Mr. Proud Goblin Knight or something. Goblin Shaman. Okay. What do you do, Mr. Shaman? Oh god, it's a bullet hell. So that's what you do. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Oh, you teleport too. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hello. Okay. All right, all right. Low pressure, I guess. Is it beef? What? What the fuck? Okay, so we gained a total of 224 of whatever the fuck that is. I'm assuming souls. So what can we unlock in the soul shop? Power, health. Okay, dash charges, defense, banishments, rerolls. There's a guaranteed void magnet every 12 crates broken. Hmm. Hmm. But how often do I break crates? It's probably still good to get. I'm gonna hold off on it though. Let's do pickup distance. Dash charges. Defense. Power. Max health, why not? Definitely. Yeah, let's update pickup distance for sure. Defense. Power. Health. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we have that mode. We have survivors mode. I don't know what that is. We have challenges. Are these things we can toggle on? Or is that just stuff we have to do? Oh, it looks like it's just stuff we have to do. Interesting. Oh no, this is stuff that we toggle. Okay. No shop, no blacksmith, no evolutions. But how do we evolve stuff? That's the question that I have. Stats, bestiary, soul cards. Wow. There's a lot of stuff I didn't get. Okay, so we have artifacts. We found none of those apparently. What magnet? Riot. Okay. All right. Well, that didn't go horribly. This avatar removes the burden of choice from the player, assuring that they can play however they want without lag. Capped at 4 weapons. That's pretty good. I love that they have a mode in for like lower end machines. Remember to hydrate, folks. It's important. That's neat. Okay, sure. Sorry, just responding to a text real quick. Got it. What are our tickets for tonight? If it will ever load. It's okay. I don't know. Let's see if E-rank kicks my ass, I guess. Okay, so we have the forest. Does E-rank allow for like the next? Yeah, okay, so there's more than one zone. Let's go here so that we can get that treasure. Ooh. Ice Nova, Fire Ring. A fire ring does melee damage? That doesn't make sense. I'm curious. Let's choose the fire ring. How is fire a melee attack? Weird. Piercing. Attack speed. Death Aura. Why not? How is fire a melee attack? I'm super confused. Dash. Ooh. Ooh, got caught in a tree. Probably could have dashed out, but I was being dumb. Okay. Base power. Yeah. Treasure. Ah, Soul Gauntlet again. Will not say no to that. Let's up our fire ring. Let's fight some enemies. Fire ring again, why not? Ooh. Oh, okay, so it doesn't let you circumvent running into physical enemies. Interesting. Healing factor. Death Aura. I need to find a guide for this one, since it looks like there are things that evolve. I'll need to figure that out. Blood pressure. Ooh. Nah. Let's go with light armor. Agility? Not gonna lie, I kind of miss having the shurikens right now. They did a lot to keep the enemies at bay. Ooh, okay. That's probably worth it. More firing, please. Celerity. Let's attack more often. Sure, why not? Oh, it's a shop. I don't know. Heal 47 HP. Increase movement speed. Sharp edge. Light armor. Fire ring we don't have enough for. Nor carved dice. Gives one free reroll every time you enter a card selection. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let's heal for sure. Let's do a card selection. Weapon polish. And let's do a light armor. And a sharp edge. Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, we needed that. Oh, God. What are you? I don't like it. You can shoot projectiles. That's not cool. Leprechaun's hat. Okay. Let's get more EXP. More move speed. Okay. Healing factor. Okay. Close one. What is this? Ah, okay. I remember that one from last time. Quick. Well, we don't have any projectiles right now, so that doesn't really work. Light armor. Damn, another shop. Okay. We can only get one of these, huh? More EXP. Old coin. Plus 300% EXP multiplier, minus 50% gold multiplier. Alright. Fair enough, game. Fight and flight. When you're moving, plus 5 base defense. Plus, oh, yep, we're taking that. Unlocked that last time. Either way, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to go after the elite dude, so... Find flights. Wow. Rust. Pickup. That was a lot. Damn. Ice Spirit. What is this? Sylph. Light armor. Low pressure. Forged iron. Why not? Rune. Wow. Jesus. Cardio. Why not? Celerity. Void. Celerity. Oh god, this is going like super hard. Holy shit. Spear. God's Wrath? Alright. Head bash? Sure. Head bash. I do not know what head bash does. Like, if I run into somebody, do they take damage? Like, I don't know. Light armor. Accuracy. Damn. That fire ring is going off. Holy shit. Death aura. No, we're going after elites. Kill 7. Do we have an optional thing? It doesn't look like it. What is this? 50 defense multiplier. 20 damage mitigation. Oh, okay. Wow, that thing melted. Jesus. We don't have projectiles though. Death aura. Rune. My God. Rust. Average? Okay. Sure. Fairy. What the fuck is going on? I have no idea anymore. Yeah. Sure, more of God's wrath. Let's go here. Damn, I'm like a walking plague. Holy shit. Ring. Okay, I'm supposed to be like throwing a spear? Okay, I see it. I just barely see it. It's so indistinct. All right. Look at this. I'm like an actual disease. It's just I exist and things die. That is crazy. Man, what a lot of fun. Vine was pretty good last time. Yeah, let's get Vine again. Why not? Ooh. What is this guy? I'm curious. Oh, it's just kill monsters? Okay. I thought it was like an elite thing. Damn, things are getting fucked up. Spear. Man, we were gonna reach that kill counter in no time. Holy. Ooh. Okay, we exchange decreased pickup rate for massive EXP boosts. Okay. Agi. Can always use more Agi. Okay, gambling den. You stand before the gambling den, its flickering lights and enticing whispers, tempting your fate. The air is thick with anticipation as the den holds the promise of untold riches or the risk of losing a part of your fortune. Let's go. Let's start small. Let's do 10. Fortune smiles upon you as you triumphantly emerge from the gambling den, pockets laden with newfound riches. You earn 517 gold. Damn, it lets you keep going? Alright. Alright, let's do one more. Fine. Triple skulls, let's go. Death Aura. Okay, that's interesting. So, like, the head bash, like, offsets the scholar thing that I just got. That's neat. Aura. Wrath. Man. Sharpening stone. Man, I haven't had to use a dodge very much at all. Head bash. Okay. Muscle. Ooh. Never been to one of these. Limit break service. Is that the thing that lets me upgrade my weapons, maybe? That's cool. Damn. Let's go with the wand. All right. Wand. Ooh, that's kind of nice. I don't know, I really like this one. Even though it's still in early access, I think it has a lot of potential. Oh, okay. Ooh, hello. It's a nice little statue over there for me to get. Are we gonna get the shaman again, I would guess? Yep. Okay. Oh damn. I didn't realize how much damage he was taking already. That's crazy. Student. Okay, and so now we're gonna get second stage, it looks like. Hand of the Cheater. Increase the choice count during a card selection by 1. Oh, alright. That seems pretty useful. I'm about that. I'll take that. Any advantage I can get would be good. Sure. Okay, so now we have the Ember Dunes. Cool. Okay, so there's a blacksmith shop at the end. And wow, this one's different. Muscle. Damn, whoever designed the music for this game, you did a great job. This is amazing. I'm like super immersed, and it's like not like super intrusive. Very good. Very, very good. Okay, what else do we got? We've got more God's Wrath. Okay, more God's Wrath. I want more loot. There we go, Saint Shinbone, and then last time we got their Helvis, which apparently is better, because why not? Multi-handed bookworm. Let's do multi-handed for the spear. Agility. Oh, okay. So yeah, when we dash, we can inflict contact damage. That's cool. Let's up magic wand. Sunburn. Let's take a sunburn. Lightweight. More spear, more God's Wrath. I saw sand armor over there, so I don't know if that is a Naruto reference or not. I'm going to choose to believe it is. Very nice. Gaara is a very awesome character. Ooh, lots of HP there. Sunburn. Healing factor. Even though I basically never get hit, but you never know. You can never be too sure. Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer, or as they say, I guess. I don't know. Bookworm. Looks like that's the end of the level. Spear. Okay, so if I go with that one, go up here, go with that one. Sure, it's not going to be that difficult to survive 124 seconds. You never know, though. Wow, that thing melted. Holy shit. Quick, why not? Man, I can barely see the spears that get thrown. Like, every once in a while, I'll see like this really, really small line like project out from my character. But aside from that, I couldn't tell you. Alright, well, we survived. So that's something at least. Spear. Okay, now I can see the spears doing their thing. Because they're firing up pretty rapidly. Sure. Let's do mystery. Oh. Pretty much the exact thing that we did last time. Ooh, red coins now. Want. What is that? Can't even tell. Oh. Yes, we'll take you again. We'll take you again. Sand armor, why not? Cool, cool. Yes. Gambling again. Okay, so 10% always seems to work. So far. I assume 10% can fail. Like if I do 25%, I'm going to assume I'm going to fail. Yes. And then if I do 50% from there, probably going to fail. So I'm just going to cut my losses here. And just let that be that. Oh, we have to break crates? Alright, where are the crates? Bring on the crates, where are you? That's one. Sand armor. Two. Triss. Yon. Go. And 6. Look at how dumb this build is. This build is super, super dumb. Like, don't get me wrong, I love everything about this build, but this build is so dumb. Practice, let's go. Sand armor. Hello. Mitigation's good. Sharp edge. Rust. Elite. Let's go. Sharp edge. Shuriken. Size up. Ooh. Scented jar. Okay. We've reached a certain level of corruption. I do not know what that does. Nice. Okay, so let's not go to the shop. Oh, man. Hilarious. Ooh. Kunai. Yes. Now look at this. I'm like a walking fucking death trap. I can just stand here and just like let shit happen. I wonder if there's an achievement for standing still. There has to be, right? I'm gonna stand still. I'm gonna see how crazy this can get. Oh. Oh. Oh, that guy almost touched me. Almost. They're getting closer. They're getting closer. So far, so good. Got about 200 kills left. More kunai, let's go. Guess not. More kunai. Elite. Man, right now I'm on rank E. If this goes all the way up to rank S, then that means you can have like a game that literally goes on like a run for like hours. Because assuming each one adds another stage, by the time you get to rank A, that's like 6 stages. And if there is an S rank above that, then there's like 7 stages. Maybe even ones beyond that too. That's crazy. That's pretty cool though. If you're looking for longevity and replay value, this is definitely one for that. So let's up dash. Let's go with the treasure. Carved dice. Very nice. When you dash, increase your attack speed by 6% for 2 seconds. Sure. More elites. Frenzy. Wow. That is actually insane. Ooh. Nice. Okay. Sure. Shuriken. Ooh. It's getting a little scary. More dash. Oh, we have to get a bunch of elites here. Okay, okay. Multi-handed. Got about 11 more thingies. Oh, 2 more. 1 more. Treasure. Magnifying crystal plus 50% EXP gain. We will take gains all day. Healing factor. Let's do an elite so that we can get the blacksmith. Let's get brawl actually. Where I can do damage while dashing around. Get shuriken now. Ooh. Evolution of the shuriken and kunai. Projectiles bounce off of enemies into other enemies. 150 damage, 3 consecutive attacks. 0.21 seconds attack delay. 7 projectiles, 3 piercing. 2 seconds projectile lifetime. 34.6 defense piercing. Yes. 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 Absolutely yes. I can like barely see it going out. That's crazy. Lightweight. Blacksmith. Okay. Limit break service. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, let's limit break the rune. And then let's up the Fuma Shuriken. And let's do a card. Oh wow, fractal. Neat. Okay. Ooh, Arcane Beam. Let's stick with Fuma for now. Arcane Beam is very cool though. So what do we got for a boss here, I wonder? Alright, so that's... number 2 down here in just a bit. Let's get more range. I did not notice the alter charge percentage on the top top left there. That is good to know. Oh, it's a sandworm. It's got 3 phases. Whoa. Like summoned a bunch of minions and shit. Okay, it looks like you have to kill the minions to deal damage to it, I guess? Or its shield? Alright. Well, that's kind of that, huh? Oof, man, we got a lot of souls this time. Hmm. Oh. Okay, so that's kind of cool. Hmm. Upgrades affect every world rank. Neat. Experience multiplier on overkill. Yes. Let's get that void magnet. Okay, so we can lower that one. Artifact in elite stage. No longer be hidden by a question mark. It's piercing. Ooh, that one's gonna cost 3k now. Shit. EXP gain, base power multiplier. Let's continue to update that one. Cool. Okay, that's where we were. So for D, that's nice. That's really cool. Do we want to do one more run maybe? Let's do one more run on F. Survivor mode. That's neat. Yeah, let's do one more run on F. What the fuck? All right, we'll do one more run on F, but let me actually be right back. Alright, that was a nice little bathroom break. Make sure to get up if you haven't. And if you can't walk around, just stretch a little, make sure to hydrate. I should be telling myself that, to be honest, but you know. Alright, so let's get back to it. Position's always just slightly off. I'm gonna have to work on that. There we go. Okay, so back to it. Let's do one more run on F, then call it a productive stream. Ooh, what do we got here? We have a new zone. We were in the Dawn Forest. We have a Boreal Pinewood. Let's do Boreal Pinewood. That's really cool. I didn't know it opened up new zones. Let's go mid. Oh, when I dash. Huh. Okay. That's kind of neat. I mean, I imagine this is going to be hard to use. So let's get a bow just to make up for that in case. More dashes, celerity. Frostbite, okay. I do like the idea of the throwing knife, though, because it's something that could potentially go out of control, but it's not like a for sure thing, at least not until like probably the late game. It's a neat idea, though. I think it's a pretty fun one to employ. Accuracy, why not? The idea of it refunding a dash and then like having you like kind of go around like a madman is pretty funny, though. I definitely love that idea. Attack speed. More dashes. Yeah. Chicken statue. Food increases your max health by 1.5% up to 300. Diminishing returns after 33 food pickups. Actual bonus. Okay. Sure, that sounds neat. More knives. Let's go the unknown square. More knives. Okay. Neat. Okay, okay. Agility. There has to be a better way to control it, because it's not the best. It's an interesting idea, though. I'd be curious to know what the evolution of this weapon is. Let's get more pickup. Celerity. Can never say no to more attack speed. Whoa. Holy shit. This is kind of silly, but I like it at the same time. Especially with that statue buff that we got that's just letting us like go wherever the fuck. Ooh, weak point, okay. Yeah, more weak point. Why not? Wind Ring. Taking damage increases your move speed by 50% for 6 seconds. Okay. 12-second cooldown. God's Wrath. Oh, the pelvis returns. Okay. That's like everything. Let's do a card selection. Agility. Range. Momentum. Just level up the basics. Cold Touch. Every enemy that touches you will have... Okay, yep, that's good. Let's up our dashes here. Low pressure. Bow. Weak points. Void. Firing? Why not? Accumulation. Ooh, it lowers attack speed a little bit. That's okay, let's get it. Accuracy. Oh. Okay, cooldown. That helps a lot. Now I need to get that thing that allows me to damage enemies while I run into them with my dash. That would be good. Rust, yes. More wrath. The blacksmith question mark. The blacksmith staggers towards you, moving oddly, like a puppet on strings. His eyes are vacant as a bright, luminous hammer is raised and is about to hit you. What? Equipment. The hammer hits you with violence, yet you feel no pain. Instead, a surge of energy courses through you, unlocking something deep within. In that moment, it becomes clear. The blacksmith is possessed by Logum? Logum? You've unlocked the equipment system. Okay. What does that even mean? I am super confused. But okay. Yeah. Why not? Sure. Ooh. It's like a Treant guy. More wrath. Because why not? Ooh. Thunderstaff. Orbit. Yeti's Heart. Thunderstaff. Yep, more cooldowns, good. Yes. Ooh. Ooh, this is not going to go well. I don't have the setup for it. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, shopkeep dude. I just do not have the right equipment set up for you this time. It's too bad. Took a lot of damage too. This run might just end in failure. Yeah, I don't think I've picked up anything as far as like health regen items, so. If I had my build from last time, that would be a different story. But yeah, not this time. Okay. Made it through somehow. More Thunderstaff. Let's go here. I haven't really had a chance to utilize the chicken thing that I picked up. At least to my knowledge, I haven't picked up any food. So it's kind of hard to say whether or not that's been particularly useful. Probably not, I would imagine. It's just one of those it is what it is type of deals. Range, yeah. I don't think I've even killed an elite with this build yet. It's kind of how challenged I've been with this. We want that. Healing factor, yes. Absolutely. Understaff. Got it. Oof. Ooh, okay. Yeah, why not? Why not? Almost there. Almost there. More healing factor, yes. Come on. You've got this. Nice. Yep. Need defense. Defense is good. Ooh, I don't know if taking on elites is a good idea, given how much power we don't have. Let's just give it a try. We'll see. Firing. Oof. Okay. Oh, this is the super dash. Jesus. There are just so many enemies around him. This is crazy. Like, I'm just trying to get in, but like, more keep joining the fray. I mean, they're all dying, which is great, but you know, I kind of need to kill the dude. Oh God. Uh-oh. My chat dropped there for a second? That was weird. Good lord, man. Just let me attack the dude. Okay, so I have to, like, slowly kite him this way? Alright. If it's what we gotta do, There we go. Brawl, yes. So it's what I need. It's what I need. Corruption, I guess? Ooh, there's like some kind of fire potion going on right now. Okay, it wants me to take care of all of this in so much time. I don't think that's gonna necessarily happen. Yeah, no. Alright, there we go. Or damage piercing. What the fuck is that? It's like a bugbear or something? Well, at least this is almost done, though. Jeez. Cool. Commoner's Guidebook. Each tainted card level increases your max health multiplier and health regen multiplier by 2%. Current bonus is 8%. Okay. Sure, let's go there. It's not the best build in the world, but we're making it work somehow. They need to give me those explodey potions again. It's about 30 more seconds. All right. More knives. Let's go with this one. Well, old coin doesn't matter anymore. We'll get healing factor for sure. Card selection. Why not? God's Wrath. Stone Skin, heal. Head bash? Does that even matter anymore? Why not? Let's get a fire wine too. Alright. So who are we fighting? Is it another shaman? I hope not. It is a shaman. Damn. I was hoping a different area would get us a different boss, but guess not. It's a bit disappointing. Actually about to lap the projectiles. Alright, well, I mean, we kind of made the best of a bad situation. Like, that build was actually pretty bad. We got boots? I don't know. I'm not sure what the significance of those boots are, but cool, I guess. All right, so we got 195 souls to spend. What should we spend them on? Banishments, rerolls. Power. Or a dash. Defense. Then more health, I guess? Yeah. Okay. That wasn't too bad today, I think. That was a lot of fun. I was disconnected from my chat for a while. I looked over and I saw it was reconnecting over there, which is very weird. So, yeah. Not bad though. This is actually a pretty good game. I really like this one. I think I'm gonna keep playing it. But yeah, let's head back on over. will just kind of relax here for a couple of minutes and just kind of decompress. It was a lot of fun though. I had a really great time today, almost a 4-hour stream, give or take a couple of minutes or so, but a little bit of a rough start. Not too bad though. In the end, everything kind of came up Millhouse, and it ended up working out pretty good. So, thanks to all that stopped by and whatnot. It's always nice to see y'all. It's really fun having you here. I appreciate everyone that stops by, whether you're active in the chat or you're just kind of lurking about, that type of thing. But yeah, I hope to be able to stream more often, sort of in the future. It's just kind of hard to do when you're kind of pressed to work as much as you do, especially on your days off, where you kind of have to put in overtime because, like I said, the economy's not that great, So we just kind of have to roll with the punches, as it were, and hope for the best. But again, yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. It's been a lot of fun streaming. I've really enjoyed myself and just kind of exploring sort of different games and kind of acclimating to the different mindsets, I guess. Maybe that's like the best way to kind of put it, because I used to stream a long time ago in my Flesh Gundam, but that was a while back. So, but yeah, again, thanks for stopping by. I'm kind of gonna just let everything play out now for now, but I'll see you guys soon, hopefully. Try not to take too many small breaks, at least for myself, in between streams, but like I said, that's kind of not really up to me. But in either case, appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day, y'all, and I'll see you when I see you. All right, see you later.